Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please hit the subscribe this video. Yes, you heard that right, breaking news of Mark's death, a doctor under fire. Kelly furious, and fans taking to the streets. Today's story begins with a name many of us recognize, Mark Consuelos. You remember him from your screen. His charisma, his warmth, his long partnership both on screen and off with Kelly Ripa. But suddenly, behind the scenes, something happened that shook fans and launched a wave of outrage, confusion, and protest. Now, before you settle in and we walk through what really took place, let me say, keep your mind open. Because what seemed black and white at first glance has turned out to be anything but. So let's begin, and let's uncover what really happened, why it matters, and how we should respond. We start with the moment that sent shockwaves through living rooms across America. A headline flashed. A beloved television figure, Mark Consuelos, was suddenly declared dead. For fans, many of them in our age group, this wasn't just celebrity gossip, it felt personal. We've watched him for decades. We've grown with him, we've seen him with Kelly, we've seen them raise children, build a marriage, build a brand. And so when the breaking news came, it felt like a weight. Imagine reading it with your morning paper or hearing it in the breakfast chatter, Mark Consuelos has died. Instant disbelief. You sit up. You pause the coffee. Your mind goes back to yesterday's footage, to his laughter, to his friendly voice on the talk show. You think, this can't be right. And yet the announcement went live, shared across social media, shared across pages you trusted, or thought you trusted. Friends texted. Social media alerts buzzed. You may have thought, is it real? Is it verified? But like many of us, you were drawn in. That moment marked the beginning of a journey we're about to walk together. But wait, just when we believed we knew the full story, something didn't add up. And that's our next part. For a moment, the story seemed to settle into the simple narrative of a tragic death. But then came the twist, the anger of Kelly Ripa. And the doctor. Kelly wasn't silent. She took to public statements, and the tone was not subdued. She was furious. Not just at fate, not just at a sudden tragedy, but at someone she believed had failed. A doctor. A trusted professional. Someone who, in her mind, mishandled critical care. The anger was palpable. The voice we've known as cheerful, the partner we've seen beside Mark for decades, now visibly upset, visibly betrayed. And the doctor? Once a figure of trust, now under scrutiny. The details were murky at first. What did this physician know? When did they act, or fail to act? Why did Kelly feel so wronged that she publicly expressed her anger? Fans waited for answers. This is where the narrative shifts from celebrity death to accountability and justice. Because the story is no longer just about loss, it's about responsibility. And that's what galvanized the next stage, public protest. But before we move on to that, let's pause and reflect. How often do we assume that those we trust, the experts, the doctors, the professionals, will always act in our best interest? And what happens when that belief is shaken? Hold that thought, because when the fans stepped in, the story reached a new level. Now, you might ask, fans protest? Over a celebrity death? Yes, and more. It wasn't just protest for protest's sake. It became a statement, we demand truth. We demand transparency. We won't sit quietly when loved ones are lost and questions remain. Pictures began circulating, people gathering outside studio lots, outside hospitals, holding signs that asked, "What happened to Mark?" Doctor, tell us the truth, fans deserve an explanation. Social media threads lit up with older fans, many of whom grew up watching Mark and Kelly, sharing shock, anger, disbelief, and a call for action. For our generation, those of us in our early 60s, this was not just celebrity fanfare. It felt familiar. We have lived through eras of change, we've seen systems break down, we've seen trust shaken. And so when we rallied, it wasn't youthful impulsivity, it was rooted in a lifetime of believing in fairness, respect, and integrity. The protest became more than a hashtag, it became a heartfelt plea: give us answers. Give us peace. And in that moment, the story no longer belonged only to Mark and Kelly. It belonged to all of us. But here's the